Night of Champions 2014 pay-per-view review coming to you from Codebreaker 146 the day after. So, I will be sitting here with my beautiful WrestleMania poster, my Daniel Bryan Black, doing my Night of Champions 2014 review. And I have some different opinions. I thought it was a decent show. I thought it was not the worst show of the year, but not the best show of the year by any means. But it was a good, decent show to kind of get me back interested in some degree of the WWE product. There are some things that I didn't like on this pay-per-view, and some things that were just kind of dumb. And there were some things that were pretty good, and I liked. But overall, everything was basically passable when it comes to match quality. Nothing was horrible, and nothing was like completely bad. But there were some things that were okay and passable, decent, and there were some things that were pretty good to great on this show. But nothing exceeded a 4-star match level. Nothing exceeded that. But it was pretty good. I enjoyed the pay-per-view show. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Here we go. They kicked off the night with the WWE Tag Team Championship match, the Usos versus Goldust and Stardust. Pretty good tag team match here, as you would come to expect between Goldust and Cody Rhodes, or Stardust, and Jimmy and Jey Uso, because two brother tag teams, both of them have great chemistry with one another. You'd think they'd have great chemistry in utilizing each tag team member and getting them good limelight in the ring. Jey got in there, and he got retribution for them hurting his knee. They had a lot of different cool high-flying elements in there. Stardust's unique offense is awesome. I was really predicting the Usos to come out here on top, but obviously I was proved wrong because Goldust and Stardust won here. It's awesome now that they're the tag team champions, because I'm completely bored with the Usos, and I was actually a pretty big fan of the Usos around WrestleMania time, but at this point I could care less about the Usos, and I'm glad that they lost the tag team titles here, and Goldust and Stardust are your new tag team champions. United States Championship match, Sheamus versus Cesaro. Awesome match. I loved it. Do I think it was the best match of the night? Maybe. It could be. It's up there. It's just very physical and very good match that we had from Sheamus and Cesaro that you'd come to expect, because Sheamus, I don't think he gets as much credit as he deserves for being a good worker that he is. When it comes to working, I mean, how he can wrestle in his matches, I don't think he gets enough credit as he deserves. But yes, he is part of the Breakfast Club, and yes, of course, he is just kind of boring as a character, and Cesaro is boring as a character too. But the only thing that was not boring in this match was the fact that this match was awesome. The match was not boring at all. It was for the United States Championship. I was really hoping Cesaro would come away with the win here, but obviously not. I don't know what they're necessarily going with Sheamus here for this United States Championship. There's no point of keeping the United States Championship if they're not going to have some use out of it and build a young star up. And I don't know necessarily what's the deal here. Sheamus, I want to see him turn heel and kind of be the anti-US guy. I mean, I know that's Rusev's spot, but I really think Sheamus should turn heel and Cesaro again should be facing, even though that should happen at WrestleMania 30, and should have solidified him as a top babyface in the company. But of course, Roman Reigns needed to be pushed, so they had Cesaro stop doing his Cesaro swing, had him stop doing some of his unique moves and feats of strength, so they could get Roman Reigns over because they didn't want to outshine him. This is a true story. I am not lying to you. But nonetheless, Cesaro loses the match here for no apparent reason, to be honest. I don't realize this. Realize why I didn't have Cesaro win here and have him built up and then have him finally lose and then have him go after a Brock Lesnar for the title at like a Royal Rumble or something. And really solidify him as a top guy. And I have him win, but have him look very good in doing so, kind of how they did with Punk and Lesnar at SummerSlam. Even though Punk was already established. Intercontinental Championship match, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. It was pretty much almost exactly like their SummerSlam match, to be honest. They were going with the Moneymaker thing, and it was pretty good at SummerSlam, but again, Ziggler and R. Ziggler and Damian Mizdow and The Miz. One thing I want to elaborate on is Sandow is an amazing performer. He doesn't get a lot of credit when it comes to his acting ability and everything like that. So Sandow was awesome as a stunt double with The Miz, and they gave him something to do here. Florida Georgia Line was there. They said tribute to the troops was honor the troops. what a bunch of idiots. Florida Georgia Line, they came out because they're from Tennessee, and they were in Nashville, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, and it's basically country music city. I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to that much country music. But if I did, I think that's the capital. I don't think it's Knoxville. Yeah, it's got to be Nashville, Music City. That's what it's called. So Florida Georgia Line came down there, and they were on commentary. I thought they were like hardcore wrestling fans, even though for some reason they didn't even talk about the match. They just basically self-promoted themselves, and they did the honor to the troops, as they say. Basically, really, I'm talking about Florida Georgia Line more than I am this match, because that was what the commentary team wanted to do. They wanted to talk about Florida Georgia Line rather than the Intercontinental Championship match, which was somewhat demeaning to me, because I think the Intercontinental Championship is a important title. I don't know why they're kind of burying it. Miz wins the championship. A lot of flip-flopping going around tonight. I just don't understand why they had Miz win the title. I was expecting Bray Wyatt to come out between the match, or a Sandow to screw Miz, or R-Truth screw Ziggler or something. Didn't know he was going to win here, but I mean, I guess it's okay. Whatever. Rollins came out because Reigns is injured via emergency hernia surgery. At first, I didn't think it was. At first, I thought it was a work because they had already done it on Raw, and they had Ambrose come back for this reason, give Roman a couple of days off, I'm assuming. But obviously, it's not, because I don't think they would go to extreme lengths of having Roman in a hospital bed with an IV stuck in him to do like some sort of like little promo, worked promo in a hospital. I don't think they would go to that many extreme lengths. So yeah, Roman is definitely hurt. Excuse me, I'm trying to cough, but that was not, Rollins came out for open challenge. He got the win via forfeit, even though he lost clean on Raw by Roman Reigns. Then Ambrose came down and hopped out of a cab, and then he basically beat down Rollins. So Ambrose is back. Amen. And Ambrose jumped on a lot of WWE road agents and security guards, and he got zip-tied and handcuffed, or zip-tied, or zip-cuffed. I should say. It wasn't handcuffed. So then they had him carried away like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was really cool. I liked how I love Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is awesome, and Rollins would play a role in tonight's main event, a big one at that. But Ambrose, yeah, Ambrose is back, and he's better than ever, baby. Mark Henry versus Rusev. When going into this match, you knew that this was going to be a slow-paced, boring kind of match. Not to many of us internet fans is a great style in how we like matches, or most of us do. Love high-flying, kind of fast-paced matches where you can get into it. Yeah, they just worked on the lower back of Rusev, worked on the lower back of Mark Henry, and Rusev picks up another victory. Yeah, Big Show's going to be the next victim. And then we're going to see Big Show versus Brock Lesnar. Whoopee! Yay. Jericho versus Randy Orton. Chris Jericho versus Randy Orton. Great match. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. Again, rivals Sheamus and Cesaro to some degree. They're both really good. They were both really good matches tonight. I was not, for some reason, I'm really underestimating Jericho's performance in the ring, because I think Jericho has lost a lot of steps in the ring, but I think that for some reason I think he's a horrible performer, and he's not. Jericho hasn't lost at all yet, but I think sooner or later it's going to be time for Jericho to lace up them, or unlace those boots and finally call it a day. Orton picks up the win here, signature victory for Orton, so there's no creative direction for Orton. Orton thought it was going to be a boring match because of Orton's slow pace and Chris Jericho's loss of steps in the ring. However, Orton picks up the win here, and it was a good match, good finishing sequence. I like the flying RKO they got caught. It was kind of telegraphed, but, anyway, Orton wins. Divas Championship match, triple threat, Paige, Nikki Bella, and AJ. Nikki Bella wasn't a factor. They didn't utilize Brie. Maybe they're just dropping the storyline in general because they didn't have her come out and play. They just did a pre-match interview from her. Like, it was just kind of pointless. Paige and AJ. Again, they flip-flop the titles again with AJ. AJ is a 3-time Divas champion. Paige is going to win the title again. Then Paige will win. Then AJ will win the title again. And then Paige, in her first year, will probably become a 5-time Divas champion. That is a story. Oh my God, man, Paige, wow. AJ is the champion. Solid Divas match. Good triple threat. All the girls worked hard here. Good time, good, well-timed, paced matchup. I was about to say John Lesnar. Brock Cena. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Good match, I guess you could say. Not necessarily great. Kind of sums up this whole pay-per-view to some degree. It wasn't the first time they did this match at Extreme Rules was fantastic, but they had Cena lose. They had Cena win for some dumb reason. Then they had Lesnar just completely destroy Cena at SummerSlam, which was it was just a horrible match, to be honest. Told no story. And this one really didn't tell that much of a story either, because John Cena came back solely to beat Brock Lesnar's ass. He came back for that sole reason, yet in the midst of all this, he did nothing to do that. Like this, you didn't see him come out with aggression. You didn't see him show the story that Paul Heyman tried to tell him, and he didn't really become a beast. He basically just got tossed around most of the match and then got more offense than he did in SummerSlam, but I didn't see a big change in John Cena, because John Cena never changes. He hasn't for the past 10, 11 years, and it's sad, but, you know, Cena eventually would hit 4 attitude adjustments on Lesnar. Yeah, Lesnar, I don't even think Lesnar didn't even hit an F5 in this match. He did like 3 German suplexes and some stuff, but yeah. Eventually it would be Cena going for the STF, and we knew Brock wasn't going to tap, but for some reason people thought he was, as the announcers put it, Michael Cole. And then Rollins came down and hit him with the briefcase, and then after that, you know, and then after that, Cena, like, attacked him, but then Rollins hit him with the briefcase, and then Lesnar was down and hit him with the curb stomp. And Lesnar sold that curb stomp really well. It looked like Rollins could actually pin Lesnar. But before the bell could ring, before Rollins was able to cash it in, basically, Cena came in and they hit him or tossed him around the announce table and stuff like that. And Rollins ran off, so the bell never rang, as my southern accent would say. And to this point, Rollins is still Mr. Money in the Bank. Cena would get F5 by Lesnar. Yeah, Lesnar stands tall at the end of the show. So what we can infer here is that it's going to be Cena versus Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell match, y'all. And we're going to see Ambrose versus Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match, I hope. They'll continue this feud and have Rollins possibly win here and give him a signature victory, because Ambrose doesn't necessarily need to win a Hell in a Cell match, because I don't think Ambrose really needs to win a Hell in a Cell match, to be honest. But just give him some signature victories on Raw here and there. Lesnar will face Cena. Lesnar will win, of course. And then they'll have Cena versus Rollins again. And then eventually they'll lead up to... I think Rollins will cash in the briefcase, but I don't think he'll win the title. I honestly don't think that at all. I don't see the point of... You know, not every... People don't think that every Money in the Bank winner should... They think that every Money in the Bank winner should win the titles. But... to be honest, they don't need to. Cena didn't win. Sandow didn't win. I don't think Rollins really needs to as well, because I don't believe him as a champion, to be honest. Maybe somewhere down the line I can see Rollins winning the title, but I don't see him being a WWE champion by any means necessary. I don't see him being a champion at this point. But who knows, something could happen between now and then. Maybe Rollins does win. Maybe he beats Roman after WrestleMania 31, after Roman beats Lesnar. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, final thoughts on this pay-per-view. Alright, pretty decent show. Match of the night was either Sheamus, Cesaro, Jericho, and Orton was great. The worst matches of the night, I'd probably give it to either Henry, Rusev, or... yeah, probably Henry, Rusev. Ziggler and Miz was up there, too. Yeah, I said it about your boy Ziggler. Yeah, you want to knuckle up? Come on, let's box. Yeah, I talked about Ziggler. Bad. Let's go. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, guys, in this, Night of Champions review. Gonna be doing some more stuff soon. I just haven't uploaded a lot of videos lately, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you for watching this review. And, subscribe, leave your thoughts and comments on Night of Champions below, what you thought about this review, blah, 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 all the matches, go booking going forward. Tell me about it. Tell me all about it. Like this video if you liked it, or whatever you want to do. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much, and I appreciate that. And I'll talk to y'all later. And holla, holla, holla.